You may know your IQ, but do you know your EQ? That's your emotional intelligence, and it's something that we can be cultivating while raising our children. Joining me now is business consultant and motivational coach Shannon Oleen. There are some specific tenets of emotional intelligence. What are they?
Yeah, so it's really easy. There are 5 main areas of EQ. We talk about it from an awareness standpoint of just simply understanding your own emotions, and then the regulation of those emotions, being able to understand how to manage them. The motivation piece is the 3rd pillar, and then the 4th pillar is being able to have empathy for others, and then the 5th component is just your social intelligence, being able to work well with others.
This is crucial in social situations and as our children grow and enter the workforce. So as parents, what can we be doing right now to cultivate a high EQ in our children?
Yeah, so it's so fascinating to me because we spend so much time on technical abilities or your IQ or standardization of tests, but we're not really teaching children how to be emotionally intelligent. So, like we talk about, teaching them how to add 4 plus 4 or multiply 9 times 3. But let's really recognize and identify emotions, okay? So it's okay to be able to tell a child, hey, listen, we can work through this emotion. Let's understand what you're feeling and let's figure out how to master that.
So specifically, name the emotions that are happening in different social situations or different situations in your family. There's something called the Marshmallow Test. What's the Marshmallow Test?
I love the Marshmallow Test. So people don't know about this, and so I love talking about it and educating people on it. So it all started in the 1970s, late 1970s. A doctor and a professor from Stanford University, he took children into a room one by one and gave them an option. He said, now listen, you can have this marshmallow right now that's sitting here on the table in front of you, or if you can wait for me to get back, I'm going to run an errand, I'm going to step out for just a second. If you can hold out and wait for me to return, then you will have 2 marshmallows. You'll be rewarded with additional marshmallows. He would leave the room and then watch the child's behavior and see how they would react in the situation. He then followed those same children throughout the rest of their lives to really understand how their delayed gratification and their impulse reactions affected all areas of their lives. And he found that the children that could hold out or wait for the second marshmallow were much more successful in all areas of their lives. So think professionally, personally, in relationships, being able to read others, versus the children that couldn't delay that gratification.
Wow.
Were far less successful.
So could that be something that you could do with your child and teach them that if you wait, there is something better in the long run?
Absolutely, and that's definitely a key component from emotional intelligence. And so when we teach our children these types of behaviors and skills, it's something that they can continue to work on over time for sure.
I wonder if there's something to do with social media affecting our children always looking down at screens and not giving eye contact to grown-ups, if that's hampering the emotional intelligence of
Absolutely.
our children.
We're starting to see so much research and seeing the dichotomy and the breakdown of how we are really interacting with each other and being able to not only manage our own emotions, but also being able to react and work well with others. And so we really need to start implementing more emotional intelligence behaviors and habits so that we can continue to have successful relationships with others.
And it's the EQ that's going to nail the interview, right? Your IQ might do well, might have you do well on test scores, but your EQ is what the boss or your potential employer is going to go by.
Absolutely. We see time and time again. In fact, there are multiple studies, including several from Harvard, where they have tested and studied students that have been high IQ versus low IQ, and then also studying their EQ versus high and low as well. And the students that have far higher EQ versus IQ are so much more successful in life.
Boy, that's eye-opening. Shannon, thank you.
Thank you, Alexis.
Shannon Oleen, inspirational coach and business consultant. Thank you for being here. Everyone's going to go out and buy a bag of marshmallows and start drilling our kids on that.
Start testing our children.
That is fascinating and something that you can cultivate. We want to head back.